He's not chasing the ring. You hear these things like, why do we have to chase? He got 4. There's nothing to chase.
Shams reported that it was the Brown trade that really brought the Sixers into the mix here.
He's not chasing the ring. You hear these things like, why do we have to chase?
Shams reported that it was the Brown trade that really brought the Sixers into the mix here.
He's not chasing the ring. He's not chasing the ring. He's not chasing the ring.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Okay, so Rich Paul says that LeBron is not chasing a ring, but that is one of multiple lies Rich Paul tells during his recent interview with ESPN, and I'm going to break down the cap.
Obviously, it's not just the Warriors that have their hat in the ring for LeBron. Cleveland, Miami, Shams has been reporting Minnesota, Philly. I don't know, would you throw Denver up there?
Okay, so Hannah Storm, current host of NBA Today on ESPN, had LeBron James's agent Rich Paul on to talk about which team LeBron may play for next year. But Rich Paul was very vague and danced around answering any of her questions. I previously made this video about the way NBA Today put on a clown show for LeBron and the media circus that follows his every move. And I went into detail how odd it was for Hannah Storm to be so overly enthusiastic to the point it felt very phony and performative. And I admit, I was a bit surprised seeing her tap dancing for LeBron the way she was, considering I remember her from NBA on NBC during the 90s when we were witnessing actual greatness. And then once I saw this interview she did with Rich Paul here, her mask started to slip a bit and I could see through the facade. She's just being a professional for her job and following ESPN's objective. But if you know anything about psychology, you can watch her body language from this interview and see how annoyed she is under the surface. Alright, now that I've laid out the context, let's get to the interview.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, where are you in this process? Like, as of today?
He's already being evasive on the first question. Where are you in this process seems like a pretty simple and reasonable question, but you're going to see him avoid going into detail or providing any kind of insight on the situation. And the more he does this, the more she's going to press him throughout this interview. They had some technical difficulties here, so I'll skip to the part where he responds.
Are you still taking pitches?
Pitches, I don't know about pitches, but listen, I think there's communication from players directly to him, and obviously I handle it from an organization perspective. But look, I think it's admirable the way he sought after today, and it's a testament to his hard work. And so,
see how he completely avoided a simple and direct question?
Are you still taking pitches?
He says he doesn't know about pitches, but there's communication between LeBron and other players. But he won't definitively admit or deny LeBron accepting pitches, in which I think we all know that he is. Then Rich Paul completely shifts the conversation away from her question and starts glazing LeBron about being sought after and a testament of his hard work. The topic at hand wasn't about LeBron's work ethic or how much he sought after. Therefore, why did he feel the need to bring this up? Is it possible Rich is trying to create the illusion LeBron is being sought after a lot more than he actually is? I think Rich tries to cover up a lot of things in this interview.
we're taking this thing very seriously, but at the same time, we're having fun. I think it's great for the fans.
How is this great for the fans? The media hyping every basketball segment up about what irrelevant team LeBron would go to lose in the first or second round of the playoffs. This dude's delusional if he thinks LeBron is still relevant.
Rich, how many teams would you say are seriously in the mix right now?
Oh, Hannah, you're such a professional. You want to get right to it.
What is he talking about? She wants to get right to it. Why do you think she had you on the show? Obviously to ask about LeBron. So why is he acting stupefied by this basic question? What else did you think she was going to ask you about? Did you think she was going to ask you for your basketball analysis or something?
There's a handful. Obviously, he has to think about things from a playing perspective. And so, look, I think when you have a player like him, he unlocks something on one of all 30 teams. The team he chooses, I don't know yet.
This is a prime example. Someone talking a lot without saying anything. This is a tactic people use when they're lying. On one hand, he says there are a handful of teams interested. Then on the other hand, tries to amp up LeBron's value by claiming that he unlocks something on all 30 teams. But what is the point of saying that when we know not all 30 teams are interested? This is the kind of language sleazy salesmen use when trying to move product in a hurry. And now you're about to see Hannah Storm becoming annoyed because of course she sees through the way he's evading her questions, but she has to play nice. So she asks the same basic question, but just frames it a little different.
What piece of information are you still waiting on at this point?
Did you catch that?
Are you still waiting on at this point?
When she said at this point, she is subtly conveying that this ordeal is taking longer than it should. So she's turning up the temperature a tad while still remaining professional. And you can tell by his nervous reaction that he's not being upfront and honest. All right, let's see him wiggle out of this question as well.
I wouldn't say it's just his decision. I'm just waiting on his decision, you know. It's not so much of a piece of information. I think
it's like pulling teeth trying to get this guy to say anything of substance. She knows he's full of it and is trying to get him to provide some piece of insight as to what in the world is taking a 41, soon to be 42-year-old NBA veteran this long to sign with a new team. But Hannah, since Rich won't give you an honest answer, I will. The piece of information LeBron is still waiting on is which team may be able to stack the deck enough for him to hop on board and try to win a cheap championship in 2027 or 28.
We've been around this league long enough. This is 24th season, which is my 24th season and beyond. We understand how things work throughout organizations. We understand how teams operate, and the basketball play is the one thing that you can pencil in whatever you want, as you saw my whiteboard on Game Over, but the actual play is something different. And so at the end of the day, you know, look, I think we've been through this before. He trusts me, but ultimately, you know, I'm working to help him make the best decision for himself and his family going forward.
He sounds like a politician, just talk and talk and talk and still not answer the question. You know Hannah's got to be frustrated, so she tries to ask essentially the same question from a different angle.
I want to get to your whiteboard in just a second because Chiney Ogumike is absolutely obsessed with it. I was breaking it down. Rich, what's your timetable here?
I don't have one. You know, I don't put a timetable on things. A decision like this.
A decision like what? You're acting like LeBron's in high school trying to decide which college to go play for.
A decision like this, he has to take his time and make it whenever he get ready. I think it's not a game. It's not something that's a gimmick or you're trying to lead people on.
Wow. Did you catch that too? This guy should not be doing interviews. He just told on himself. No one said it was a game. No one said you were trying to lead people on. So then why did you feel the need to defend yourself from an accusation no one accused you of? Because you have a very guilty conscience. But the question is, what exactly are you feeling guilty about? He's definitely juggling multiple lies. But the question is, why is he lying?
You know, when you're evaluating a situation, take the money out of it. Listen, I don't think there's ever been a time where most players, and Danny can attest to this, and so can Chiney, most times you are saying, okay, where's the most financially respectful opportunity? And in this case, it is, you can throw that out the window. So now you can actually evaluate it and have clarity while trying to make the best decision for yourself. So this is uncharted territory for an athlete, which I understand. And I'm just trying to do the best I can as a representation, advisor, whatever you want to call it, to set the table so he can make the decision that he needs to make.
If the money doesn't matter in this decision, then why not just stay in LA at a discount and play with your son and try to build on what you started with the Lakers? Had LeBron taken a discount, LA could have still signed Walker Kessler, and with the new rim protector added to the roster, that Lakers situation would have been a better one than any of these other teams he could end up signing with. Okay, so once again, Rich Paul just used a bunch of cliche filler words to pad the segment and still evade directly answering the question. So now Hannah has to try to find yet another way to phrase the question for Rich to answer.
If you just could for us tick off then what exactly their priorities are, like what you're looking for, what LeBron is looking for.
Oh, I can answer that, Hannah. He's looking for another superstar to team up with and then join an already stacked roster. But of course, Rich won't be honest and say that.
You know, not to talk so much about him, but what I try to look for is just an understanding the player. Just knowing, look, there's a seriousness that comes with this. He's in year 24, not 4.
You know it must be so incredibly frustrating trying to do an interview with a person like this who won't just directly answer any of your questions. She has now asked essentially the exact same question 4 different ways, and still no one has learned a single thing from anything Rich Paul has said.
And Danny knows, he's played with him before. There's a competitiveness that comes. We know how hard it is to win championships. No roster, no organization is guaranteed to win a championship, but you do want to be competitive. You do want to have an opportunity come late April and early May to compete at a high level and give yourself the best chance of winning.
So to my point, he's waiting for a franchise to stack the deck for him. And Rich Paul knows that's the plan, but of course can't just come out and openly say it, which is exactly why he's bobbing and weaving around answering any of her simple and direct questions.
He's not chasing the ring. You hear these things like, why do we have to chase? He got 4.
If he's not chasing a ring, then why was he only considering going to Philly after they got Jaylen Brown?
Shams reported that it was the Brown trade that really brought the Sixers into the mix here.
So evidently he is very much chasing a ring. This is how you know LeBron James, Rich Paul, and Klutch Sports are just a bunch of frauds.
He's not chasing the ring. You hear these things like, why do we have to chase? He got 4. There's nothing to chase.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And now get ready for Rich Paul's biggest lie this entire interview.
There's nothing to chase. He's not chasing a ghost or anything like that.
And there it is, the real reason LeBron won't retire.
He's not chasing a ghost or anything like that.
Notice no one asked if he was chasing a ring or a ghost. So then why was that in the forefront of Rich Paul's mind? Because he knows LeBron, knows what LeBron wants, knows that LeBron hopping on another super team is the only shot LeBron has at another ring. And it's his job to try to help facilitate that for LeBron. But with the new strict salary cap, it's a lot harder to pull that off than it used to be. So him and LeBron are trying to figure out how to make it work, and that is why this decision is taking so long.
What piece of information are you still waiting on at this point?
So yes, LeBron absolutely is chasing a ring. And the reason he's chasing a ring is because he is, in fact, chasing a ghost. And you would think he's chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan. But in reality, he hasn't even caught the ghost of Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant. And he hasn't even passed Steph Curry. But the fact that Rich Paul came out on the offense without even being prompted, saying LeBron is not chasing a ring or a ghost, lets you know that is precisely what he is doing and why this process has been drawn out so much. And I think Hannah Storm has been around long enough to know this and can see through the BS.
You
Hey,
guys, this is
where are you in this process? Like, as of today, are you still taking pitches? Rich, how many teams would you say are seriously in the mix right now? What piece of information are you still waiting on at this point? Rich, what's your timetable here? If you just could for us tick off then what exactly their priorities are.
But of course, has to play nice on ESPN and glaze LeBron since Klutch and ESPN have an arrangement.
we're not worried about nobody's opinions or anything like that. He's
Yeah,
gonna make
he's
the best
certainly
decision
earned
for
that
himself. Yeah, he's gonna make the best decision for himself, and we'll see what happens.
He certainly earned that right to take his time. This is the final chapter of his career.
You know, when he knows, I guess the rest of us will know, and I look forward to it.
Listen, we're happy for you and LeBron that you're in this position.
Yes.
He has earned it to, take all the time in the world and really have this next chapter be everything that he wants it to be. So we will sit back and wait